Hi, this is Jason with Violator Collectibles coming at you with another collectible review. And this time we're taking a look at the Halloween 2 Butcher Knife. And this is from Trick or Treat Studios from 2018. So the first thing we're going to do is take a closer look at the packaging. Alright, so taking a look at the packaging, not really much here. I mean, it's pretty much just in a bag. It's like in a little bag. It's pretty straightforward. You pretty much see what you get. You can see the knife in there. And then, you know, the only real stuff you have on there is just says Halloween 2 Butcher Knife, Trick or Treat Studios. Got the, you know, the Halloween 2 like pumpkin logo on there, which is really cool. And on the back just says Trick or Treat Studios, the UPC code, and Halloween 2 is a trademark. So pretty standard, but let's get this guy opened up. Alright, so taking a look at the Halloween 2 Butcher Knife. This is from Trick or Treat Studios. This is not a toy. This is considered more of a decoration or a kind of like a play prop. But this is essentially a foam-ish style knife. I'm really not sure what it's made of. It's very kind of moves and bends a little bit. But I mean, this is definitely something I think you could maybe take into a convention if you're going to cosplay, because it is that softer. It's not actual metal. It's not like a hard plastic, which is really, really cool. And this definitely has the classic butcher knife style. This is more the style of, you know, obviously Halloween, in the original Halloween, because in the second one, the knife he took from Mrs. Elrod, which is the only real butcher knife style knife he had, was that it kind of had a different shape to it. I think it even had a red handle on it, and, you know, he stabbed it into the desk in the school, and it just didn't look like this. But overall, really, really nice. I mean, obviously, this is something that I think is much better than some of the other stuff, the plastic knives out there. Now, it is foam. It is a little bit thicker than a lot of the other knives, so it doesn't have that super realistic look to it. But overall, like the detailing and the wood grain that they put in this foam and the little rivets, and they even have the little kind of fold in the knife where it kind of goes to the sharp point. You can definitely see that. But let's take a closer look. Here you can see that handle, and you can actually see like the wood grain kind of painted and kind of molded into it, which is really cool. And I think that's really nice, and the way they even did the rivets. Everything looks really, really nice. Here you can see the painting on the actual blade. And you can kind of see there's kind of, you know, a little bit inconsistency, so it's not like a perfectly smooth coat, which is kind of unfortunate. But this is, you can kind of see that little part where it kind of goes down to the more of the actual, what's supposed to be the sharper point, part of the blade. Obviously it's not sharp at all because it is definitely a little bit thicker. And here we have the actual point. You can see it actually comes to a point, not like some of the other play knives and prop knives and Halloween costume knives. This guy actually, you know, has a pretty decent, you know, exaggerated point on it. Here you can see the handle, and like I said, you can see how thick it is. If we kind of go over the top, you can see it's definitely a thicker style knife. I guess, you know, its handles, as far as a real knife would be, is definitely kind of realistic, but as we get to the blade, you can see how thick the blade is. It's definitely pretty thick on there, not really realistic. And this kind of shows it a little bit better, the thickness. You can see the thickness of the blade is almost as thick as the handle, which is kind of unfortunate, but it does look good, it feels good, and it definitely feels sturdy. And then you can see this little, it thins right there, and as we kind of show it there, you can kind of see it kind of, you know, comes to a like a smoother edge, but it's still pretty thick. But I mean, definitely feels really good. I mean, it's pretty sturdy. My biggest concern is there's some paint bleeding, which is unfortunate, and it's the inconsistencies in the paint. But I guess you could say it kind of looks like a weathered knife, which is really cool. Definitely a really cool point. Absolutely love the handle. The handle looks realistic. It looks like real wood, which I think is amazing. Just for size comparison, I also reviewed the Rob Zombie Halloween style knife, which is definitely a lot cheaper. It's definitely a little bit thinner, but here you can kind of see what it looks like right there. I like this shape better, the Trick or Treat Studios one, but this one, it's definitely cool how thin it is. You could definitely see how thin this guy is, but I mean, it's a plastic knife. The point isn't as exaggerated as much as this, and the handle is kind of just basic plastic cheap, which a lot of knives are like that. They have that black look to it, and you can kind of see the actual metal running through the tang, which is really cool, which is, you know, obviously realistic. But I definitely think that overall, I think I prefer the Trick or Treat Studios in the back much more. I just think it's a cooler knife, and like I said, I think it's going to be more convention friendly if you're going to do cosplay. You can probably get away with that because it's definitely foam and it's not dangerous at all. But once again, this has been Jason with Violator Comics Collectibles. Any questions or comments, leave them in the comments section below. If you liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe to us on YouTube, like us on Facebook, and I'll see you guys next time.